Yo, uh, ladies, gentlemen, my name is Bando, producer, artist, rapper, songwriter, DJ, presenting to you Coastal Plus through the lens of a production and some songwriting walkthrough because I produced everything myself, wrote all the vocals, performed all the vocals, engineered all the vocals for better or worse, mixed, mastered 100%, did it over the course of, say, a year or so. We had some downtime a few years back. I was inside, not doing a whole lot outside of just waiting for things to change. So, in the meantime, in order to help my DJ sets and get more into the realm of music sync licensing, where you make your music fit for film and TV spots, I did an EP called Coastal. So, that was like 4 tracks, 4 songs completely produced by me, and then one vocal feature towards the end. Shout to Dash Adams. That released around 2021. The world reopened. I was on the road DJing, working with different agencies and whatnot, and just recording anywhere I could and writing anywhere I could to just make sure that I had music that was not only ready for the clubs, but ready for the screens and ready for my DJ sets. Because honestly, I just hit that point of I was getting over playing other people's music, and I thought to myself, I need more me in this. So this is what it sounds like between the last few years, and this was like a 12 track release. It's out on Bandcamp now, as well as other streaming services. We'll just get into it from there and talk about the fun parts.
Look like I'm up to something. Watch me slide out like tourists. Shout to the fam in Europe. Been a long day, no slow-mo. Walk up in your function solo. Yeah, moving through a demic on chill. Essential with the skill. Don't know how to stand still.
Alright, so this was a cool song because I came into it like, yeah, this is just going to be super short. I'm a brand new artist. People who go to DJ sets are going to listen to their favorite things. They're not really going for new music and content necessarily. So I just made it super short. 2 choruses, 1 verse, an intro done DJ style. So I kind of used Pharrell Williams' 4-count intro as kind of a basis to build the whole, like, structure the whole song at. So as you can see on my timelines, I've got like my intro, my chorus, my verse, which is like 16 bars, another chorus, and an outro, and then the fin is just something I grabbed from old black and white movies just to be like, all right, everything stops right here, and we have no more to go, just that. I like structuring it out because then I have parameters versus making songs that go absolutely nowhere or just eat up too much time and it's like skip. So, writing the hook, just from the lyrical standpoint, I write and I rewrite until I get something that is gonna stick, or I hit a deadline and I just turn in whatever I've got and just try to make it sound fly, make it sound expensive, make it sound a little bit different. Like so. I have a lot of frozen audio channels. I do use MIDI. I actually like MIDI. It's just that with Ableton Live, you have to go through a lot of plugins, processing, and everything hits that CPU and RAM limit. So in order to lower those limits, I'm freezing channels and I'm taking everything from bare MIDI information like this right here to pure audio, which is all these little waveforms and things like that. So what do we have here? Let's talk about just what am I doing on my vocals. I'm gonna solo that.
Hitting every coast, no visa. But I'm locking on weekend. Where you been at? I need ya. Wanna hang 10 on deep end.
So that was kind of Kanye inspired, just going through the vocal distortion as well as the auto pitch plugin, which I love because I am not a trained singer. But going into this and starting to rap and use my voice more to make these tracks more distinct is like you can still polish enough and you get the vocal close enough to have something that works in whatever environment you're trying to play it in. Like in my context, it's like it's got to work in a DJ set. It also needs to work on streaming, and it needs to work on casual like listeners, like people who just kind of like, oh yeah, I just went through the playlist and I found this song and I really liked it and I added it. It has to work on all those levels. So this is just working on that. This is a crazy vocal chain. So you start your vocal chains in Ableton Live from left to right. It's a tuner, make sure you hit the right notes, a de-esser just to get rid of unwanted frequencies in your recording process. This is an EQ preset tuned to like the vowel of E, which I think I'm hitting a lot, so that's why I went with that. Auto pitch to just get everything on point as far as what notes I'm hitting and making sure that I'm not singing so far from the actual key of the song that it's unlistenable. Vocal synth, which has since expired, and I don't remember what vocal synth was doing there. I use a lot of preset racks and things like that just for vocal processing because I'm so deep into trying to build the song out that I do need to use presets, use certain AI functions to just like automate what would take me a lot longer because again, I work with deadlines, I work with briefs that tell you, hey, we need this kind of song by this date, and I just need to work really, really fast and I can edit later. The editing process probably takes longer than the actual writing of the song, so I just decided, hey, automate what I can, fine tune it later, but just get the basic idea down. And here's a bunch of plugins. Some I use, some I don't, because I work in a really freestyle-y way, like
go to work, no punching. Look like I'm up to something. Watch me slide out like tourists. Shout to the fam in Europe.
And words of Virgil Abloh, creator of Off-White and many other brands that we know, love, and celebrate. Sometimes it's just easier to use the ready-made stuff and then just starting putting your own spins on it versus trying to build everything from scratch. I've come around to that line of thinking over time. It's a personal choice. Some people believe in the power of what's already there. Like all they do is flip loops and samples and other pieces of music to make something new. And other people are like, nope, I have to be right there, playing everything, recording everything, and different strokes for different folks. Anyway, here's the drums. So this is audio now. When I first started, it was a whole kit built out. I had a cool like bongo sample just to give it some rhythm, give it some bounce, give the whole groove some movement. Because I write percussively. I come to find out, I didn't know that when I wrote this. I was just making music and doing it the best way I know how without putting too many definitions on it. Turns to find out, I actually like writing rhythmically and percussively as opposed to melodies. And it's crazy because people are always saying, people in the music business are always saying, oh, you have to focus on melody. Melody is the only thing people remember. Forget the drums. I'm like, well, I am doing this myself, so I just work with what I got. It's actually the Alright, drums. So basic reggaeton pattern. I like reggaeton beats because it's basically like slowed down house beats sometimes with extra percussive elements just for the vibes. It works. I like what works. I do what works for me. Here's the bell sample. Threw some extra effects on it. I think it was Effectrix in halftime, and I don't know. I sometimes look back at these project files and wonder if I just didn't overcook something. Let's see. We got additional sample that's just there to help guide it, give it some extra flavor. So layering is a big thing that I do. So imagine I build out these drums, I add this little loop just to add some more flavor to what I've got going on, build out a percussion block and a drum block, and just give me something rhythmic that I can start writing and freestyling vocals to. Got that little percussive block. I think these are hats. Yeah, those are the hats. Let's see, instrumentally, like melodically, I went inside Contact. I pulled out a dulcimer by choice just because I really wanted to get into more like Asian, African, just things outside of the US as far as a sound palette. My whole thinking with the Coastal EP and then Coastal Plus as a project was like, all right, so envision the future of Blade Runner, right? They only show you a few key locations in the movies, but what's the rest of the world going through? And then what is the rest of the world going through as far as their clubs and their nightlife scenes? So that's kind of my, I guess, MO, my modus operandi, if you will, for why I picked the instruments that I picked and why I picked the rhythms and such that I picked. Because I could have easily done like a basic rap project or a basic house project, but I was just like, don't do regular beats. We have had enough of those. Synthesizers. So with synths, I just go back to the kinds of music that I actually like. Like there's a specific strain of house music called future house that was pioneered by more recently Oliver Heldens and Shami. I got one of those bass sounds. I really like those FM basses, so I used it. I layered it with an 808 just to fill out that frequency. You have some high frequencies for melodies and highs and mids, I should say. And then 808s on the low end just to give it some depth and just fill it out a little more. These are just reverse noises just to lead your ear into the next section of the song. So I only put them as a way to like guide the ear from, say, the intro. Oh, there's reverse sounds coming up. Something's about to happen. We don't know what. And then just pepper those in throughout so that you just like your ears along for the ride and that you're not getting bored. Originally, when I was starting these projects, I wanted to get crazy with beat flips, as in like, oh, you have two verses that sound like reggaeton and then a whole other thing where it turns into a house beat or something like that. But due to time constraints and me already feeling like I'm overcooking the song, I didn't want to overstay my welcome. Looking back on it, I'm just saying like now I would probably do it because I know more about making music and I know more about what I'm doing in order to put those elements in there. It's just a matter of, do I have time now? And if I don't have time, I'm just going to keep it real simple, real basic. Don't overstay my welcome and also don't overcook the music. Fair enough, right?